Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Got a big weekend of college football coming up. Huge weekend of SEC football. Tennessee versus Missouri at 3:30. Ole Miss versus Georgia is going to be at 7 o'clock. Going to be a fun weekend of football. And when you look at the standings, you look at the SEC standings, of course, Alabama, unless they completely implode against Kentucky and Auburn, likely going to be going back to Atlanta. But you look at the SEC East, it's very interesting. Tennessee and Missouri playing first. I like that. We talked about it last night on the live stream. If you missed that, go back and give it a watch breaking down this Tennessee versus Missouri matchup. But I like that Tennessee plays first because in your eyes, you've still got everything to play for. And then you're hoping that Uncle Lane will do you a favor and go take care of business against Georgia. Feel like a lot of teams right now between Ole Miss, Tennessee, Missouri. Those are the teams in the SEC. They're trying to solidify themselves as legitimate contenders for the SEC championship. Again, not necessarily this year for Ole Miss. They already kind of lost that when they played Alabama. How much better have they gotten as the season has kind of progressed? Can they give Georgia a game? We're going to take a look at it. We're going to get into it, but as always, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, free, easy. It helps this channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't talk at you here. We're talking with you. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. I'll be live later tonight. Makeup stream for the NCAA night on Tuesday. We're moving that to tonight, Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Come hang out. If you've never been a part of it, look, it's not just video games. We talk all things Tennessee football. Have a good time, goofing off, being silly, having fun, but we do talk a lot about Tennessee football. And then also tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m., myself, Coach Jay, will be going live and breaking down this Tennessee-Missouri game one last time. But let's get into it. Let's talk about it again. We talk about Tennessee. We need a favor. We need a favor. First, you got to go out and take care of business. First, you got to go out and beat Missouri. But then we need a favor from an old friend, Uncle Lane Kiffin. This article from A to Z Sports, typical Lane Kiffin, right? Anytime he has an opportunity to troll, make jokes, take jabs, take shots at Tennessee and our fan base, he's going to do that. This is from Zach Reagan. Lane Kiffin comments on possibly helping the Tennessee Vols this weekend. Lane loves this fan base. He loves to interact. He loves to have fun. I think he would crawl through broken glass to get back to Rocky Top to be a head coach here. That's just my opinion. Article goes on to say Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss Rebels can do the Tennessee Vols a solid this weekend by knocking off the Georgia Bulldogs in Athens. Tennessee's SEC East Division title hopes are still alive with just 3 games remaining this season, but those hopes will be dashed this weekend if Georgia beats Ole Miss. The Vols have to win out, and Georgia has to lose to Ole Miss for Tennessee to win the SEC East. Again, Tennessee has to take care of business. You got to go handle your business first before we hand it over to Uncle Lane and say, hey, we need you to do us a favor. We need you to do us a solid. Go out and take care of Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs, and that is a tall task. That is a tall task for Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. I think Georgia's favored by 10, 10.5, somewhere along those lines. The ESPN FBI absolutely through the roof for Georgia. 70% odds at Georgia. It's in Athens. It's a night game. It's going to be hostile. It's going to be electric. But again, Tennessee has to go take care of business first. And we broke down this matchup last night. It's such an interesting matchup numbers-wise, Tennessee versus Missouri. You know, they've got the SEC leading rusher on their football team. Can Tennessee get that? Can they contain Cody Schrader? But again, I like the fact that Tennessee's got 3 running backs. So Cody Schrader is going to be going it alone. He's the workhorse for Missouri. And I like Tennessee, again, number 1 rushing offense in the SEC, number 1 rushing defense in the SEC. Week in, week out, we hear about the other teams. It's always about them. It's what they can do. Texas A&M has the most dominant defensive line in the SEC, best run defense in the game. Oh, well, never mind. Kentucky, best run defense in the game. They got a great running back. They're leading the SEC in rushing. Nope, took care of that. Now it's Missouri. We're hearing all about Cody Schrader. We're hearing all about Brady Cook. Brady Cook's a good quarterback. He's athletic. He's going to extend plays. He's going to make plays. Can Tennessee win if they're unable to contain that Missouri offense? One thing that Missouri does, they're at the top of the SEC in red zone efficiency, but they kick a lot of field goals. And we talk about you don't beat Alabama, you don't beat Georgia, you don't beat those type of football teams by kicking field goals. I don't think you beat Tennessee by kicking field goals either. So when we look at this article and we talk about handing it over to Uncle Lane, you got to go handle business first. Again, if you missed the live stream last night, go give it a watch. We give our full-on predictions for the Tennessee-Missouri game. Goes on to say, Wednesday during the SEC coaches teleconference, Kiffin referenced the possibility that Ole Miss could help the Vols on Saturday. He says, obviously, we got a huge game, huge motivation to do something that nobody has done there in 5 years. Nobody has won at Georgia since 2019. So able to pull that off, and that helps Tennessee, then I'm happy. I'm happy for Tennessee. You think Lane Kiffin would be happy for Tennessee? Goes on to talk about Kiffin being Tennessee's head coach for the lone season in 2009, led the Vols to a win against Georgia that season, but that game was in Neyland Stadium. You know, you talk about winning streaks. Nobody's beaten Georgia since 2019. Again, tall task coming up for Lane Kiffin. Georgia has now won 26 straight games. 26 straight games. I mean, that's ridiculous. You go look at the all-time longest winning streak in college football Division I history, Oklahoma at 47. I mean, there's some ridiculous streaks out there, but 26 wins in a row puts Georgia inside the top 20 longest win streaks of all time. And, you know, so many people want to talk about, well, they didn't play anybody this year, or they played close games, right? They played close against Missouri. You talked about last year, all the close games they had. It doesn't matter. They find a way to win. Lane Kiffin is going to have his hands full on Saturday night. Goes on to say the Ole Miss head coach, however, has been on the winning side in Athens before. In 2015, Kiffin was the Alabama offensive coordinator when the Crimson Tide beat number 8 Georgia 38-10 in Athens. That was Mark Richt's final season as the Bulldogs head coach. You know, none of that matters. That's what, when people want to come in and they want to talk about what happened at Tennessee under Butch Jones or Jeremy Pruitt or Derek, none of that matters. All that matters is Josh Heupel, and they have such an opportunity, man. Last season was special. It was special going out and winning 11 ball games. You know, we've talked about the history, the last time that's happened. We talked about the last time that they've gone into November with 6 wins. It's happened twice since Philip Fulmer, both of those under Josh Heupel. What happened prior to Josh Heupel does not matter. This is now his football team, and what he's done in such a short amount of time is absolutely impressive. It's impressive, and I know a lot of people have been throwing heat at me, throwing shade at me. They're not happy with me the last couple of days because I'm saying if this football team goes out and they lose to Missouri and then they lose to Georgia and they finish this thing 8-4, that's a disappointment to me, man. I'm not ready to fire Josh Heupel. I'm not ready to fire Tim Banks or anybody on this coaching staff, but that's a disappointment. I think 9 was the goal. 9 was the target. 9, I think, would keep this fan base pretty satisfied. Let's go take care of business against Missouri on Saturday at 3:30, and then let's hand the keys over to Lane Kiffin. Can Ole Miss, can they give the Georgia Bulldogs a game? You see the ESPN FBI right there, Georgia almost at 70%. You roll down and take a look. The line favors Georgia by 10.5. Can Ole Miss go down there and do something? Can they go down there and shock the world? Again, I feel like there's a lot of these teams that are kind of on the bubble. And you look at what Lane Kiffin has done since he took over at Ole Miss in 2020, went 5-5, had the 10-win season in 2021, went on to get the loss in the Sugar Bowl. But then he went 8-5 a year ago, and right now he's sitting at 8 wins. And that's kind of what I'm talking about with Josh Heupel. You know, Ole Miss won 10 games in 2021, and then they dropped off a little bit, 8-4 in 2022. How do they respond in 2023? I kind of see a similarity there with Josh Heupel. 11 wins in year 2. You drop off a little in year 3, but I think, you know, we saw a glimmer of hope in that Connecticut game. We saw what the future looks like under Nico. But Lane Kiffin's kind of on that bubble. I think Ole Miss, Tennessee, Missouri, kind of some of these teams trying to prove themselves. Will they be able to do it? You look at the numbers. You look statistically. Both of these football teams, Georgia and Ole Miss, in the top 15 in the country in scoring offense. Georgia scoring 39 points a game. Ole Miss scoring right under that, 38.8 points per game. But I think the difference is you look at defensively, right? Georgia only gives up 15 points a game. That's top 10 in college football. Ole Miss gives up a whole lot more points. They give up almost 23 points a game, 45th in the country. I was reading an ESPN article kind of talking about the keys to Georgia stopping Ole Miss, and that's with pressure. This is directly from the article. It says Rebels quarterback Jackson Dart has been sacked 20 times, completed just 43.8% of his passes when only 1 touchdown when pressured, as opposed to 73%. Look at the difference, 43% and 1 touchdown when pressured. When not pressured, 73% in his pass plays, with 36 of those going for 20 yards or longer when not facing pressure. You know, Lane Kiffin's going to take his shots. He's going to have his shot plays. They're going to be dialed up. Ole Miss is 3rd in the country in plays of 20 yards or longer with 65 plays of 20 yards or longer. But I think this thing's just going to come down to defense. I think the only way that Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss have a shot here is to win some type of shootout, right? Similar to Tennessee and Alabama last year. Just get the football last, go score, and survive, get out of there with a win. But I wanted to kind of talk about this. Thought it was kind of funny. Uncle Lane going to be happy if he can help out the Tennessee Volunteers. How are you guys feeling? This is a huge weekend of college football. You know, I was thinking about the post-game show. We're going to be live immediately after the game. That's going to be going right into the Georgia game. Who knows? Maybe we turn that thing into a post-game show, blend it into a watch party, and we watch that game at 7 o'clock together. We will see. Let me know your predictions. How you feeling about Tennessee, Missouri? What are your predictions for Ole Miss versus Georgia? Does Tennessee still have a shot at an SEC trip to Atlanta? Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, smash the thumbs up just below the video. It helps this channel. I would appreciate it. Go check out the merchandise. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Also, shout out to the members of the channel. If you like the content, the videos, the live streams, the community aspect, hit that join button down below for $1. We are asking you to donate $1 a month to contribute to this channel so we can continue to pump out content, videos, live streams. You're just supporting what we do. You get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, try to highlight your comments on the live streams, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. But if not, that's fine. Smash the thumbs up. That's quick, free, and easy. Jump into the comment section. Let's talk some Tennessee football because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.